Hey guys, I'm going to turn on my phone so that way I can see some comments when I am sharing my presentation soon. I could hear myself talking. We'll give it a minute for people to log in or show up, I guess. We have, 10 people live already. Hey guys. Okay. So, okay. Yay. So Michelle is on. Hi, Michelle. Hey, Nora. Ashley's here. Happy New Year, Ashley. If you are watching live, go ahead and comment and let me know that you are here. Let me know where you are coming from. I live in Oregon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie and I run Dietitian Side Hustle, but I will share today is my first day as a full-time entrepreneur. So I am no longer a side hustler. I've shared this in the group. If you listen to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, I've kind of shared my journey, but last Wednesday was my last day in my full-time job at the Department of Veteran Affairs. I worked there for over 13 years and it was a lovely career, but I am so excited to be a full-time entrepreneur. And I will say, like, one day in, like 10 out of 10, A+, highly recommend entrepreneurship. This is fun. It's been the funnest day. So awesome. We got people streaming in. So we have, let's see, I can't see everyone. Oh, Julia's on again. Oh, it's your first time joining live. Hey, Julia. So glad to have you on the live. So we have Oklahoma, Tennessee, Justine's here, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, Christine from San Antonio, Texas, from Delaware. Awesome. Hey, Kim, so glad to have you guys all on today. So thank you so much for joining me. Today is it's Monday. It's Monday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I go live in the Facebook group every Monday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I might be changing that time in the future now that I don't have a job. Well, full-time job. I've got flexibility in my schedule, but I show up every Monday. So it's just a chance that we can chat, have a conversation. But today's live show is going to be super fun because we are going to do a training all about goal setting for 2022. So I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'm going to drop a link in the comments. Oh, there's so many people here. Thank you guys so much for the congratulations. I'm just so excited. It feels very surreal. I will tell you guys, I never thought that I would quit my full-time job. I thought that I would work there till I was 65 years old and retire with my pension. Like, I had a plan. Then I got into the side hustle world. Then I got into the business coaching world. And oh my gosh, once I got a business coach, it was like, oh my gosh, sky is the limit. Like, oh my God, mindset's everything. But anyways, so we have from California, Memphis, we got Canada in the house, New Jersey. Rochelle, no worries about being late. I'm still just babbling. We haven't gotten to the training yet, so you are just on time. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do a training. Actually, wait, before I do this, I'm going to drop a link here for a workbook. You can go ahead and grab it now. You can click on it and open it up. It's just in Google Drive, so you could have it and save it. You could work on it later, but I just want to make sure that you guys have it. If you're catching this on the replay, then, you'll find it in the comments. It's also kind of in the section at the top, the little intro. So let me, just real quick, I need to pull up my PowerPoint, share my screen. Okay, if you guys can see the screen, go ahead and comment. I can see it. Someone could let me know and make sure I just don't keep talking forever without sharing it. Okay. I think I have a lag in the comments. I think you guys can see it because I could see it on my phone. There we go. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, perfect. So what today's going to look like is I've got a PowerPoint presentation. It's not going to be long. I want to be mindful of your guys' time. So I'm thinking maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops if I talk really long, but I do get excited about goal setting. I really want to get down to the nitty gritty, help you guys to set some really crazy, audacious goals for 2022 so you can make it your best year yet. So let's dive in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie Dodd. Again, I run this community. I'm the owner owner of Katie Dodd Nutrition LLC. My business is a little bit unique in that I don't see patients one-on-one. I am primarily a blogger, and I help other dietitians to blog and to make money blogging. So my brand Dietitian Side Hustle, you guys know about because you're here. In addition to the Facebook community, I'm pretty active on Instagram. The website periodically has blog articles, like 2 or 3 per year. Although Wednesday, a blog article is coming out that you guys are probably going to want to watch or go read. It's also on the podcast, Dietitian Side Hustle. It's going to be my 2021 income report. Super excited about that. Every year since, well, for the last 3 years, every year I share an income report of what money looks like in my business as far as money made, money spent, and all the things. So that's coming out on Wednesday. And I was running the numbers and I'm super excited to share it with you guys. So in addition to Dietitian Side Hustle, I have my primary blog, which is the Geriatric Dietitian. And then I have a food blog called High Calorie Recipes. I'm a blogger, I'm a podcaster, a mentor, a leader within the field. And I will also say I am a goal crusher. I love setting goals and just completely crushing them. And that is what we are going to talk about today, setting you guys up to crush your goals. So I wanted to share some stats with you guys from one of my favorite podcasts, the Blog Millionaire podcast with Brandon Gately. So his podcast, he was talking about an article, I think it was done at Harvard. It was done at some big university, but there was like some research that was done looking in goal setting. And this is kind of a summary of the research which they shared on the podcast. So they shared that 83% of the population does not have goals. No big surprise, right? Now, 14% of the population has a plan in mind, but no written goals. And, you know, I think a lot of us have a plan in our mind. We think, oh, someday I'd like to do this. Yeah, I'd like to do this, but we don't have written goals. Now, this group, just having a plan in your mind is 10 times more likely to be successful than the other 80%, 83%. And this makes sense, right? I mean, if you have an idea in your head, you're more likely to be successful. But here's the cool part. 3% of the population has written goals. And this group is 300 times more likely to be successful than the 14% who are like more successful than the 83%. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, that is really powerful. I will tell you guys, I'm a big fan of written goals. I write them every single year. I have since I became a dietitian, last 13 years. I do attribute my goal setting to the goals that I've been able to accomplish in my business. So I want to know, who do you guys want to be? Do you want to be the 3%? Go ahead and comment 3% in the comments if you are ready to have written goals, become the 3% who is 300 times more likely to be successful in the goals that you set. So as we talk about this, I'm going to break this down into 10 steps. Today, we're going to talk about figuring out your why, beginning with the end in mind, sitting down with pen and paper and dreaming, then dreaming even bigger, writing your goals, breaking down your goals into quarters, adding action steps under each goal, posting your goals, sharing with your community, and crushing it. I know this feels like a lot, but really it's just going to be me talking to you guys, kind of having I say conversation, but it's kind of one way here, but me just really kind of explaining to you guys the process of what I've been able to do in my own business and how I set goals. So awesome. You guys are with me. You want to be the 3%, no doubt. Awesome. And I love that you guys are here because I know that you guys are going to take the time to set some goals and then you're going to crush it. So step number 1. Now this comes before you even start writing your goals. I think this is really important and a piece that a lot of people skip. This is figuring out your why. Now you are in the group Dietitian Side Hustle, either because you have a side hustle, maybe you're a full-time entrepreneur, or you want to start a side hustle. But regardless of your reason related to business, what is your why? Why are you doing the thing? Why do you want to do the thing? Why are you building the thing? Having a very strong why is important. Think of this as your foundation. If you have a very weak why, if you see another dietitian doing something and making money, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I want to make money. I want to do that. And that is your only why. That's probably not a strong enough why when life gets hard. Because the reality is we're probably going to leave this training like, oh my goodness, yes, let's set some goals. Let's make 2022 the best. But then what happens next week, next month, later in the year? Life happens. Things can happen in your job, in your business, in your personal life, in your health, in the health of your family members. Life is so unpredictable and tomorrow is not promised. So if we want to do the thing, we need to make sure that we have a very strong why, so that when life happens and life gets hard, we're not going to give up. We're not going to be like, well, I set some great goals in January, but nope, life's too crazy. I'm not going to do it. Setting a why is probably one of the most important things in my business. My why, I've got a couple things. Number one, it is my faith in Jesus Christ. That is the number one why, and why I do everything I do. Number two is my children. My son is 11 and my daughter is 6. And I will tell you, if there's any parents in the group, you probably understand. I just feel like I was pregnant with my son. He's 11. Like, I don't know where the last 11 years went. I remember how long school took. I don't know how 11 years went by so fast, but I feel like childhood has gone in the blink of an eye, and it's very important for me to be present with my kids while they are still in the home. Another why I have is I am just so passionate about helping other dietitians to live out their dreams and really do what they were created to do. So step number one in goal setting, before we even put pen to paper and start writing goals, figure out your why. This is the most important reason that most people skip. So number two, begin with the end in mind. What do I mean about this? We are starting right now, but I want you guys to have really big vision. Look at where you want to be 1 year from now. So think about what life would look like for you. Think of time. How are you spending your time? How much time are you spending in your business? How much money are you making in your business? How much impact are you making? How many clients are you seeing? How many people are you helping? How many people are you reaching online? What are the experiences that you want to have? Maybe going on vacation, being able to afford to do things maybe you couldn't do before. What is the impact that you want to make? The things that you want to accomplish? Start thinking about what life will look like 1 year from now. When we have that big vision, that can help us to scale back and think, okay, yeah, if this is where I want to go, these are the goals and things that I need to do to reach that goal. Now, a little tangent, I will tell you, I do have 1 year goals, 2 year goals, 5 year goals, and 10 year goals. A little intense and a little crazy. And I'm not asking you guys to do this, but I want to tell you why I do this. I am the kind of person, I have so many ideas in my head. I have all these dreams, all these things I want to do, and it feels overwhelming because we know we can't do everything at once, right? We have to pick one thing and do it. So for me, it's helpful to get all those ideas out of my head and on paper, and then I throw them out there like, okay, I'll do this at 5 years. I'll do this at 10 years. So then my head's not filled with thoughts. And it gives me this contentment of like, yes, all of my dreams are possible. They're just not possible now, but I can do them later. So that's just a practice I do for me. Some people really struggle with dreaming. When I ask you to begin with the end in mind, you might really struggle like, oh my gosh, I can't even think about tomorrow, let alone a year, Katie. But if you're the type of person, you have tons of dreams in your head, you might be, it might benefit you to get all those dreams out and kind of just throw them out multiple years from now. But for the purpose of today's training, think about where you want life to be 1 year from now. So from there, you're going to sit down with pen and paper and dream. I can't tell you how valuable it is to sit down in peace and quiet. Like if you have children, make sure they're not around. If you have pets, make sure they're not around and have peace and quiet to think. I don't think we give ourselves enough time to think anymore. Think, dream, and imagine, so sit down and actually dream and write it down. You can put it in your phone, but I think there's a lot of value in putting pen to paper. So once you start dreaming, I want you to dream bigger, like way bigger. I think a lot of us have dreams in our heads that we are too scared to say out loud. They feel too crazy, too audacious, too selfish. We feel like it's never going to happen. Who the heck do I think I am to dream this? But if you have a dream in your head, if you have a dream in your heart, I want you to write that on paper too. I want you to push yourself to dream bigger and to say the scary things that you just don't even want to say out loud. I just want to give you that permission to dream even bigger than you ever have before. Then I want you to write down your goals. Okay. So you spend all this time dreaming, right? So now start getting specific. You guys know SMART goals, right? We're dietitians. Our SMART goals are specific, measurable, realistic. Oh gosh, come on guys, help me. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, right? Our goal isn't like, I want to start a side hustle. Our goal is very specific of what we want to do, by when, how, we want to have some good details in there. So I want you to write down your goals. Step number 6 is I want you to put your goals into quarters. So if we know what our big year is going to look like, we come up with these goals, put them into quarters. All of the goals that I do are in 90-day chunks. I tackle my goals kind of one thing at a time. Now, in different trainings and different things, I share income reports. I share how I make money in my blog, different things I've created over time. And if you actually look at it, you could see that I start creating things on a quarterly basis, because again, we can't do everything at once. But if we know what we want to do, we know what we want to achieve, we create some goals, we put it down into a different quarter throughout the year. So each 90-day chunk of the year, we are just tackling 1 to 3 things at a time. So once you have all of those goals, attainable. Thank you for commenting there. How could I forget my SMART goals, right? Like this was drilled into our heads in school. So once you have your goals, next, you need to add action steps under each goals. It's not enough just to have a goal of what you want to do. You need to take the time to think, what are all the things that I need to do in order to make this happen? So essentially, you're going to be creating a checklist. And dietitians, we love a good checklist. It just feels so good to check something off. So this way you have some big goals, but you're also breaking them down on the little things that you need to do each day, each week, each month to make them happen. So they say, oh gosh, I'm saying it off the top of my head, so I might mess it up, but they say a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you have a goal, pie in the sky, that's wonderful. But if you don't have a plan on how you are going to achieve it, then odds are you're not going to have much success. So we want to be very strategic. So we want to come up with a plan on how we are going to meet this goal. And I have workbooks like from all the years I could show you where I actually have, I think I have one right here where I write my goals, and then underneath them I will, this is the wrong book, but I have my goals written down, and then underneath it I have little check boxes of here's what I need to do in order to achieve this goal. So for example, 2 years ago, I remember when I was going to start my LLC. So I wanted to make my side hustle, which at that point was a hobby, an official business. So I had all these things I wanted to do. I wanted to meet, in my situation, I was going to meet with an attorney. I was going to meet with my accountant. I was going to, get my EIN. I was going to file with the state. Like I had all these action items that I needed to do. And then I just checked them off one at a time. So next, post your goals. What do I mean about that? I mean, once you come up with your goals, I want you to put them somewhere that you can see them with your eyeballs. What I don't want you guys to do is to take time to dream these amazing goals and either electronically or printed on paper, put them in a drawer somewhere and not look at them for a year. And they just start collecting dust. You look at them a year from now and you're like, oh yeah, I did say that. The more you see your goals, the more likely you are going to be to achieve them. So find a way to put them in front of you to where you see them. This could be printing them out physically and putting them somewhere you will see them. On your wall where you work. It could be maybe in your bathroom, in your closet, in your drawer, in your car, like in the visor. Maybe you make something digital, so it is a screensaver on your computer, on your phone. Make it something that you see on a regular basis, so it's not something you forget about. Make sure you come back to these goals, check in, do the work, pivot. Next, share with your community. Now, this piece is really important. I'm going to encourage you guys to share in the dietitian side hustle community. This is a community just for you guys. It's a safe community, a place that you can dream big. And if you don't meet your goals, no one's going to judge you. We want to encourage you and support you. So make sure you share your goals with your community. Speak them out into the world. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you have to keep your goals to yourself. Now, you can share them in this Facebook community. You can share them with your group of peers. You can share them with your friends and family, but make sure you share it with people so that way they can be on the journey with you and you're not just alone. And like, I think sometimes people, we get tempted to, if I set crazy big audacious goals and I don't meet them, I might be embarrassed. So if I don't tell anyone about the goal, no one's going to know if I don't meet it. But we're not playing small here. We want to play the big game. We want to set big goals. We want to crush them. And that includes letting people know about them, posting them, and making sure they are front of mind. So that way we make sure we do the work. So finally, after we do all those things, y'all are going to crush it. Set goals, make a plan, get to work, stick to it, and reach your goals. So a quick summary of everything we talked about today. But, when it comes to goal setting, I do think it's important to do all these steps. Don't just sit down and set a goal, but do the work ahead of time. Figure out what your why is. Begin with the end in mind. Think of what you want life to look like 1 year from now. Then sit down and dream. Take the time and just dream. Then dream bigger. Push yourselves to dream bigger. Write down those things you're too scared to write down. Write down your goals. Sort your goals into quarters. Add action steps underneath each goal so you know what to do. Then post your goals so that way you see them on a regular basis. Share it with other humans and then crush it. So I do want to share with you guys really quickly our Goal Crusher workbook. I dropped that in the link in the comments. So this workbook Let's see, I think I've got it. There it is. So this is just something that will walk you through everything we talked about today, the 10 things. So it has step 1, figure out your why. I've got it where you could actually type in it if you're an electronic person. You know, I'm a big fan of printing things out and writing them, but whatever your jam is. So you could write your why here. I am driven by blah, 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 blah. Probably lots of things, right? Begin with the end in mind. This time next year, I want to have, list all the things. Step 3, sit down with pen and paper and dream. So brainstorm everything you may want to achieve. Then dream bigger. So is there anything you left out because your planet's too small? And really push yourself here. Is there something you left out? And then you could put it there. And then write down your goals. Now I have several spots here, you know, and this is, we're talking for like a year. And so if you have more goals, you could always like, there's enough lines in there, you could probably squeeze them in there, but this is probably a good amount for the year. And then sort your goals into quarter. So what that looks like is, you know, it's kind of perfect timing right now if you're watching this live in January. So, you know, quarter 1, you could write down by each goal, like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So figure out, when am I actually going to tackle that goal? And then add action steps under each goal. So this would be, you rewrite your goal and then have like little action items under it. So you can do it on this page or on a separate page if you'd like. And then this is just kind of reminders on this page. Post your goals, share with your community, and crush it. So that is what your workbook looks like. So your action items, what I want you guys to do is I want you to print out the Goal Crusher workbook. If you're an electronic person, you can just save it digitally. That's okay too. I've got it where you can fill it out now. So then I want you to find 1 hour in your schedule to create your goals. This is really important. If you have time right after this training, I'd encourage you to do it now. If not, go to your calendar, like do this right after our call. Go to your calendar and figure out, when is a 1 hour block in my schedule that I could intentionally schedule time to set my goals. Put it in your calendar, make it within this next week, and find time that you can sit down and think and dream. Again, I think it is so important to just sit and be still and to dream and quiet our brains and just spend the time to really dig deep into what we want to do and how we are going to achieve it. And then guys, once you're done, I would love it if you could share your goals in the Facebook group. You can come back to this video and share your goals below. You can share them in a post on your own, however you want to share them. I just think the more people we could share our goals with, the better it's going to be. So I am going to stop my sharing and look at the comments, because I see there's a couple people here who've commented. So Kim shares, the best part of big goals is even if you don't make it, you're still pretty darn far. Yes, let's talk about that really quick. So the reality is that we only rise to the level that we think we could rise. So if we set our safe goal here, are we going to meet it? Probably. We might even go a little bit above. But if we move our big goal and we put it up here, do you think we're going to rise to it? Probably. But we only rise to the level that we think we can. I want to give you guys a quick example, because I was talking about my income reports. So I've been doing income reports for the past 3 years through Dietitian Side Hustle. It's my side hustle income report. Next year will look different since it's a full hustle. But what I do is every year I create income goals, and then I share, like, how did it go? So in 2019, my goal was to make $300 a month in my side hustle. That felt good to me at the time. Like, I was like, okay, that'll pay a bill, right? So that was my goal, $3,600 in that year. At the end of 2019, I ended up making $7,000. I was like, oh my gosh, holy cow, this is so much money. I was like, okay, what is possible now? So that year, I pushed myself to dream bigger for 2020 to set my income goal at $25,000. Now, I will tell you, at the time that felt really crazy, from 7,000 to 25,000. Like, that is crazy. But I ended up making $33,000. Again, at the time, it felt impossible, but I did it. So then in my goals for 2021, this is where I really pushed myself. Initially, my goal was to make $60,000. I was like, okay, that's like almost double of what I made in 2020. Like, that sounds safe, $60,000. But I pushed myself and I made my goal $100,000. Now, had I set my goal at $60,000, would I have met it? Yeah, probably. Would I have gone over it? Maybe by a little bit, but I don't think I would have hit 10,000. setting my goal at 10,000 pushed me to go higher. And even if I hadn't met it, I still would have been like gangbusters over my 60,000. So I just encourage you all to set bigger, more audacious goals. And sneak peek, again, my podcast episode is going to release on Wednesday and I'll have all the details online. But I ran the numbers, and this year I set my goal of making $100,000 in my side hustle. Honestly, felt impossible. I did not think I was going to meet it. I share these numbers with you guys. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so embarrassed if I don't meet it. Not embarrassed anymore. My mindset's changed a lot. But I ran the numbers and I actually hit $150,000 in my side hustle, like totally mind blown. So I will tell you, the bigger your goals become, the higher goals that you meet, the more you recognize that mindset is everything. The only blocks we have are the ones in our minds, and we just start crushing our goals and start setting bigger and bigger goals, more audacious goals. So thank you for sharing that, Kim. So Brianne shares the workbook is great. Awesome. So yeah, I made the workbook to hopefully help you guys set some goals and make 2020 just your best one yet. So I am done with our training for today. So go ahead and comment and let me know if you are going to commit to completing your workbook in the next week and setting your goals. So if that's you, comment I'm in and let me know that you will be setting your goals. And if that is you, then again, I'd encourage you to come back here and share your goals. And now it doesn't have to be every goal. You can come back and share like one goal, right? Maybe a couple goals, like here's what I want to do, but let us know, share it with us. We want to champion you and support you. So let's see. So thank you, Julia. You're welcome, Amanda. I have a lot of energy today because again, first day as an entrepreneur, I'm like on cloud 9, best day ever. Okay, so who's in? We've got Shannon, we've got Janice, Jessica, Kim, Catherine, Christine. Yes, 2022 is the year to make it happen. Yes, there is, when we ask people, what advice would you have to yourself looking back, right? Or if you ask people who are in business, what advice would you have? Almost everyone says, I wish I would have started sooner. So my encouragement for you guys is like, don't wait, don't push this off, get started, do the things, push yourself to set crazy, audacious goals and get out there and do it. Because you guys, we live in a crazy world, especially the world online, where we can reach like an infinite number of people, make unlimited amount of money and impact, and it is completely possible. But a lot of it starts with setting big, crazy, audacious goals and doing the work each and every day or week to get there. So awesome. You guys are in. So Mary, you missed the beginning. Yeah, go back and watch the replay later. There's some good stuff in there. So thank you guys so much for joining me. What time is it? Oh, we did good. Okay, we stuck to less than 30 minutes. That was my goal. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I come live every Monday in this Facebook group. If you want to catch me, I talk about different random things every Monday. If you ever want to go back and see the Dietitian Side Hustle live show archives, you can click on the button that says guide. It's at the very top of this Facebook group. And then you go down, I think it's guide 3, and you can see every video that we've had. I've been doing this since June. So thank you so much. Oh, Ashley is curious, what is my goal for this year? Income goal. So my income goal for this year it's not a side hustle, it's a full hustle, but my income goal this year is $750,000, which feels crazy and audacious and makes me want to vomit a little bit, but that's where we're at. So I always say the day that I don't feel uncomfortable setting goals is the day that I'm not doing it right. I mean, we should feel really uncomfortable when we're setting these goals because we're pushing ourselves to do things that feel impossible. So yeah, that's my goal. Woo! Yes. Thanks, Ashley. And again, I share my income report. So this time next year, you guys will know. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this community. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm really excited to be doing this full time so I can show up and serve you guys even more. So take care, guys, and we'll chat soon.